checked them off on the list as I went. You guys weren't keeping up with the list? Idiots. Alright. Thank you so much for all the love. Welcome to the grand finals of the Team Liquid Map Contest Tournament number 11. As we have in our top left corner of the map, the Red Protoss player taking out Clem to get here. That isn't a statement. I don't know what would be. This is herO. In the top right, it is going to be our blue Terran player from the Shopify Rebellion, ByuN. Game 1 of this best of 5. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm glad I don't have enough decorations because when I started to put the candy canes on the tree, it started leaning a little bit. And I was like, oh god, it's happening again. The tree's coming down. I don't know why. It's on a little bit of a lean today, apparently. As, oh, piss off, James. You're kidding me. Galaris on the 50 gifted subs. As we play the opening on Moonwater, what better to do than say thank you so much to Galaris gifting 50 subs. My stream elements doesn't even have a list of those. It isn't even going to tell me them. It says there's too many. Oh, no, it does. Order SC, Zagaron, Iru Kanji, 42, El Muerto, Smix TV, Bourbon Cowboy, Rock and Roll, Celestial, Morg, CSPU, Moto Justin 44, TI Beats, Botnet 123, Persio 402, Duntun 2, Elron 991, Nimlord, Holgerno, Nozdrolomo, the Imishu, or Taimaishu, Lunaris, Poriforion, Wolfie 3101, Xmave 01, Stay Hydrate, Vernon Talk, Hater L, Sensius Ha, Lessness 96, Dr. Hammer, Bot EAP, Jeff 215, Liquid Mana, Evil Fluffy Tuna, High Boon 1111, Dis CZ, Kintao OE, Mr. Montalvo, Cryptobiotic, Dub NV, Apple Moy Papa 13, Jex974, Smell of Summer, Future 1, SO80318, Seal Wab, Walter72, I'm Trendle, Graphics 4040, Ton, Eholland, and Sultan of Wings 2. Thank you so much, Hilaris, for the 50 gifted subs. Alright, to the game. To the game. You've missed, and during my sub reading, a Twilight Council going down, a Cyclone being made, and a Reaper dying for 2 probes. I thought I was on Indy's camera. Apparently I was not, so I probably should have done that before I started looking at the other screen. Apologies, guys. That one's on me. Slash Galaris. Blame Galaris, actually. Don't blame me. It's James's fault. Perfect. Perfect. Alrighty. So, we got ourselves a blink coming up. The Wargate continues through, and this is going to be game number 1 of this best of 5 grand final. Again, we usually want to do best of 7 in the grand finals for TLMC, but it's just not realistic this time around because of the fact that we just had so many series today. It was 6 best of 5s already. A best of 7 on the end is a little bit too much just because it'll be so late already for the Korean players. These guys were already picking the same map 2 times in a row in the veto process because they're kind of tired, so somehow they're going to try and string together some StarCraft 2. Let's hope we get some fun games as we make our way through this over the next little while. And this best of 5, and we see what the hell is going to happen. Bivy thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs as well. Going out to 2020 0, Die Forever 2011, Transakak, BFG Gertie, and Boss Floss. Thank you so very much. God, at this point, guys, we're basically at 1,000 subs. My goodness. Let's just do it all over again. Boom, 1K. Stalkers are going to fight a little bit of an army that kind of meets it midway, so that who's meeting who midway, honestly? Is it ByuN meeting herO? Is it herO meeting ByuN? They're both meeting each other. ByuN is the one pushing herO backwards. Blink is about to finish up as well. Mortal coming in. One more Stalker goes down. The Cyclone dies. We are going to have reinforcing another Siege Tank coming in as well. That's going to be showing up right here, so the tank's going to get there. The Marines are going to set up. And we are just going to see ourselves this little bit of a push continuing through for the moment. Well, Marine tank will pull a bit further away again for now. It's going to get out over there. I'm just going to be seeing the Stalkers are actually going to come chasing these Marines. The tanks will siege on this top side. You can't get there unless you blink onto those tanks, so it's an interesting place to siege, but of course there is blink, so there is a way to get there. The Immortal might not be able to walk to those tanks, but the Stalkers would be able to hold that position. A couple of Marines going down in the center as the units continue to escape away over to that right-hand side, continuing to get out of there just for the moment. One tank shot already going to go off onto a few of those Stalkers. A little bit of damage done there. We do see the couple of devs continue to shade around as well. Obviously, the Liberator now you can see coming through the top side of the map also. Going to try and get across, going to try and get into play. So we'll see if that can make something happen in a moment or two. Again, getting that into position, see if ByuN can find some damage. It definitely feels like ByuN is the one that needs to find damage out of anybody right here. He's the one that's maybe in a little bit of trouble in comparison. Not in a huge way, just... Yeah, I mean, I felt like he lost a little bit more, but when you look at resources lost, it was actually kind of even. You know, he killed a couple Stalkers. They're quite expensive. And at the end of the day, herO wasn't able to keep the pressure coming across the map to be able to get into the, to get into the natural or so. So ByuN kind of stopped it before it became the bigger problem, which is maybe the most important point of all. Again, 1-1 upgrade still just building along here. Continuing to get that on the go. One more upgrade, stim continuing through, a couple more barracks continuing to come in as well. And we just have ourselves, obviously, the game in general settling down here on Moonwater. This map can become quite the standoff because you've got one real pathway through the center of the map. And if you're not using that major pathway, there's not really a lot of other ways to go. So what I'm basically saying is that armies are pretty much always going to meet each other. It's very hard to avoid the other army to work around the army with the way that the map is laid out. So might make some kind of interesting situations for the TvP. We've seen that kind of play out in some of the other matchups. For TvP specifically, like I say, maybe it allows the Terran to just push very comfortably without too many counterattacks coming their way. I think it might help the Terran more than it helps the Protoss, although for the Protoss, you can also push without the fear of being flanked. So, I mean, there's advantage on both sides, right? You can look at it in both ways. Some people will find it good in some scenarios, others will find it good in others. And do you see that +1, extended thermal lance, all that goodness coming through at the moment, so we continue to bring that in just for now. Finally coming back towards the top side, we are going to be seeing a gateway coming in as well. And again, Stimpack, Compat Shields, Concussive Shells, all the upgrades. ByuN is about to power forwards. He's also taking this triangular base, which means he's mining out away to the top portion of the map. That could be interesting for later for setting up attacks that could siege the main or just jump across into the main base, for example. So yeah, taking that triangular setup, even more defendable for ByuN, because then he's not spread down the right side. He really is just got one pathway into all three of his bases. Apart from if Stalker's coming around the back, but the tank position is great to deny any Stalkers blinking around over there. Yo, Stoic Gaming, thank you so much for the 3-month season's greetings right back at you. Thank you so much for the big resub. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As our army sets up in this center, herO gets ready to go. The Adept will shade forward, Marine pulling around. We see the Bioforce pulling back, trying to decide what it is that these units want to do at the moment. Just trying to figure that out right here. Just going to have our Colossi actually activating, so we actually do find a way just to push straight forward. A few units have to go back around the right side. The Adept on the high ground taking some attention. You do see the SCV count going down in a big way. Can these units actually hold off? Can ByuN actually stop herO? I don't think so. 2 Colossi still alive and looking very good. 1 fake Colossus hallucinated is just going to make it difficult to pick a real target as well. As Zealots actually come in from the right side. So that gateway on the very far right is such a big deal, and it's actually such a smart play from herO. It's given him an opportunity. Just as I was saying, this map may not give you many of these opportunities. herO sets up in such a way that he will have some, and he takes immediate advantage of it as well. So perfect play from herO. Love to see that. That's fantastic. That's very fun, very entertaining. That is, like I say, a very cool way of playing this onwards. I'm just going to be seeing 2 upgrades still coming out, a few more Vikings coming in as well. Stalker still firing through, a couple more mules going down. Marauder's taking extra damage as well. We will see Marine Marauder still coming up. 2 upgrades are on the way out also. So again, just bringing a little bit of everything on the way through for the moment. We get ourselves ByuN trying to fight back into this game. He's definitely taking some heavy hits. A lot of SCVs lost out on, his army definitely struggling beyond that as well. One observer going down, the bio just going to come across. We do have our Stalkers still trying to hold out in the center a little. We'll say ByuN's army supply is not too bad. He's actually about to hit 2-2 as well, so you'll have armor upgrades over his opponent, which can also be seen It's a pretty big deal. The Zealots come from the right side. The ByuN going to try and fight back. Zealot Stalker continues to come down. Stalker's taking a lot of shots. A lot of SCVs start to go down as well. We are just going to be seeing those Vikings continue to fight also. So off we go. Away we head. I mean, is this enough for herO to end it? 24 more dead SCVs? I'm going to say yes, but he may not do it with this army right now because he is still taking a little bit of damage. He actually lost out his Colossi. So yeah, he kind of just needs reinforcements with the economy situation now. He should be in a good enough position to get that. I mean, now ByuN actually has an army supply lead. herO is still chasing maybe a little bit too hard, herO. Maybe time to chill out a little bit. Bro, we don't need to go this crazy. I mean, there is a world in which ByuN just runs across the map and maybe herO can't get enough units up in time to actually defend. That should be difficult against a lot of Zealot production. ByuN gaining access to a gold base as well, taking this 12 o'clock position. And Marine Marauder still coming through. The Ghost still producing as well. A few more SCVs are on the way out. The Stalker is pinging through the orbital command as well for the moment. Well, I mean, it's nice to see that herO knows about this base. He does now already. He's already rebuilt. Army supplies are even again. Gonna at least taking this time where herO has to rebuild the army for himself to rebuild a little bit as well. So making the most of that. And thank you, by the way, to the Timenian for the 23-month resub and BF Gertie for the gifted sub to Havocist. Thank you so much for the love, guys. I really, really appreciate it. On the tail end of absolute mayhem throughout the course of the gap between the end of that last semi-final and the start of this finals. Thank you so much. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the love. Thank you so much for helping us keep on making StarCraft. You guys rock. We have got Colossi gonna get jumped on. No, why are they on their own? What is this? herO, that was not it. Oh my goodness. herO is making this game as difficult as possible to win. As, like I said, ByuN should not really be able to win too many fights if herO just, reinforces properly, especially if he gets tech units back online, because ByuN is really playing with bare minimums at the moment. And yet, we're still kind of going. I mean, herO comes into the disruptor that ByuN is able to dodge away from. We see ByuN is able to push this back. Like I said, at certain points, ByuN's army will be much better, especially if herO doesn't have tech units. He's got 2 more Colossi on the way this time. Hopefully he protects them. He really needs to. It would be really good for him if he did. So hopefully he protects his Colossi. That will be a much better situation for himself if he does. As the Viking lands, a couple of Zealots getting picked away at the ByuN is going to find one of the disruptors there, so kills that one off. ByuN continue to fight his way back into this game here in this grand final of the WardiTV Team Liquid Map Contest Tournament 11. More Zealots showing up to the top side. They start to run on through. It's going to be seeing our Water Mines going off. There's going to be a few of these Zealots going down once again. A little bit more damage being done. ByuN is going to just about live, but not too much. At the end of the day, we just have ourselves this Terran army. Really not looking... I mean, the army itself is okay. It's the economy that ByuN can't stick around with. He can't keep rebuilding unless herO gives up a lot of units, and then ByuN doesn't need to rebuild because he can just win the fight. Fire coming forward again as we do see Guardian shields up, protecting this army. The Colossi move forward. The Marauders trying to make a little bit of a dive through. Honestly, I think, again, as soon as we got Colossi up and properly in position, I don't think it's even really going to be a situation anymore. To me, this was just the defense that we needed. We get it now, and it does look as though herO is just in the driver's seat for this game number. herO, the only ever player to win this tournament more than once, actually beat ByuN the first time he did it, 4-0. That was a very disappointing final back in 2022. And now looking to go 1-0 up against ByuN again, as he looks to be a 3-time champion of the TLMC tournament. Obviously, it's just game 1. These are some of the storylines we've got on the go in this grand final today. Absolute chaos this game is. herO does get it. I see someone asking for workers killed. ByuN has lost 91 SCVs in this game, while herO lost a measly 2. That was the first Reaper, right? The Reaper got in, killed 2 probes, and then since then, ByuN lost 91 additional workers and didn't even touch his opponent's side of the map anymore. That's wild. Okay, GG's. That is one hell of a way to start off this. Back home, I felt like crap. Oh, terrible. Anyways, we have ourselves the bottom left blue Terran player. Hopefully not going to feel terrible at that first game and can pick himself up and take it to in game 2. It is going to be our blue Terran player, ByuN, in the bottom left-hand corner. Top right, our red Protoss player from Dragon, Kaiser Gaming. This is herO. Okay, we're going down. Barracks coming up. We get all of this settled down for a few moments already. So a little bit of setup, a little bit of on the go. Trying to boost away on that Nexus, and again, the probe just working its way out down to the bottom side. So far, so good. Looking cozy these early minutes. Probe on the scout, probe on the scout. It's been a great tournament, by the way. You know, honestly, like, sometimes the group stage is a bit wacky, and sometimes in the map contest you have some games which are like, oh, okay, the players didn't really take this map seriously or whatever. That has really not been the case this map contest. I feel like we've had so many, like, the quality of games feels super high. I don't know if that's just because we're coming off the back of Atlanta, everyone's playing their best StarCraft at the moment, but the game quality has been absolutely stellar through the group stages. I mean, I've said it a few times already, call me a broken record, but quite frankly, Dark Max packs yesterday was, you have to see this game, guys. 1 unit versus 1 unit to end the game. That was it. That's what it came down to. That is how the game ended. It was actually ridiculous. If you missed that, it'll probably be on my YouTube in a day or two. Well, if it isn't up tomorrow, it's probably going to be in a week or so, because the Christmas Day games will start going up tomorrow on Monday. Just seeing our Dev continue to run around a little bit. Cyclone on the way out as well. Obviously, early game setup getting going. As you see, just what's going to happen for a little while. It's going to be seeing our Cyclone going to be able to get rid of this probie. And this is the map that does have that in-base expanse. That's an option. Right now, herO just takes the low ground base. He's going to play that as though it's a normal natural, and then he can take the in-base is like a very easy to take third without it being like pressured any extra. In-base is obviously very droppable as well. There's a couple of inhibitor zones to try and help defend it from drops, but in general that's still going to be a pretty major target for Terrans to drop. We've seen that in some of the earlier TvPs of the tournament as well. Link on the way, Warp Gate producing. On Sacred Isle. Obviously, each time you see a map right now, it's going to be the last time you see it in the TLMC. Some maps you will not see again, of course. We can't have every map in the final. It's not the good old days of when we used to do best of 15 all maps played grand finals that took an entire day. Of course, if you do enjoy and you want to vote for your favorite maps, the voting system, I don't know when the votes actually start. Apologies for not knowing that, but you will be able to vote on these maps. So when it does go live on TL.net, I'll be talking about it in my channel, in my stream when it goes live. Make sure you remember which maps you like so you can vote on them and give them a chance of winning the TLMC. Medevac over the right-hand side. A Cyclone is included on this. It's going to be coming over then and on a little bit of a journey across. It's going to actually get a little cheeky lock onto the Stalker for a moment. It's just going to pick that off, nip that away. Again, a couple more Marines coming out. Siege Tank about to finish up. Cloaking will begin for the Banshee to start up. And that on the way too, as an observer is on the way out also. A little bit of everything on the way. Right about now is our Cyclone. Dead. Medevac killed. Well, that was a very quick ending to that harassment, so ByuN finds nothing at all right there. Banshee in the tank, and the cloak all coming up. Seeing our couple of SCVs continue through as well. So a couple more SCVs coming out. The Banshee and the Marines all producing also. A little bit of everything currently just on the way. Low Banshees, ByuN definitely really trying to rely on those for a little bit of, harassment damage. So I'll obviously try and see if you can find something with that. Let's just see our Marines gathering up together. Chilling out for the moment. Did you see herO? Gonna blink across these gold minerals, gonna set up for a blink into the in-base. Something we've not really seen much of, but is absolutely a, well, quite clearly here a possibility of something we can do, so it's kind of neat. Again, that gravitic boost is on the way. We're just going to be having ourselves the charge coming up as well. So all of that coming through. Again, a couple of forges producing the observer speed as well. Something that obviously herO wants to try and utilize for himself as well. So it's honestly going to be nice to help keep track of Banshees even. It's kind of weird to see observer speed. Especially when you're going Colossus. Like, did he meant to, I almost wonder if he meant to start extended thermal lance. But we'll see if it finishes. And if he immediately starts thermal lance after or something. I'm intrigued. Observer speed this early is very rarely a thing, but maybe he just feels safe enough on the map, and then he feels as though just having further vision, he's going to be feeling great. Is op speed really worth? In the later game, yes, absolutely. Like I say, early game, not usually, but maybe I'm going to see something wild coming into play. Maybe. Again, 1-1 upgrades, charge coming through. Just seeing our missile turrets coming up. Barracks on the way by. There's Phoenix already making its way through the bottom side of the map as well. Hallucination to keep on scouting. I think he meant to start extended thermal lance, guys. The more I think about it, the less it obviously makes sense. And now on 2 Colossus, no thermal lance. It just doesn't make sense, right? At first, I was really like, well, maybe it's like a big map. He really wants to see things. He really feels as though with the in-base and so on, he could be super safe if he sees everything. But yeah, I think it's just a mistake. Again, these guys are going to be tired. There's probably going to be some mistakes going on and stuff, guys. We can't really fault them for that. It's been a long-ass day for these guys. Shout out to them for still playing. Honestly, if they'd teamed up and said, Wardy, we don't want to play. We want to play tomorrow or something, I would have said absolutely no problem, because today went long. Like, the first 3 series of the day, the first 3 best of 5s were like all 5-game series. They all had pretty long games as well. It was pretty wild, actually. Pretty wild. Well, when you see these tanks all sieged up in a very forward place, looking to play the defense, as the extended thermal lance now on the way from herO, again, can't help but feel that that was probably meant to come up a little bit before now, most likely. One upgrades coming through as we just have some rocks and so on still about the map that we can maybe start working through as well, so some possibilities there. Ghosts on the way up, couple Vikings on the way out, missile turrets still producing on in as well, so just all of that being made, a lot of that being settled down for the moment. Our probe's nibbling away at this set of rocks, so again, just opening this up, moving that out. Plus 1 ship weapons coming in, a couple Vikings as well, Marines, just 2 attack upgrade coming up. A Bioforce coming in, just going to chase that hallucination down. A few Marines are there to give the hallucination chase back also. Bio gathering, tanks chilling. You can see that starport still building through. CC is going to advance on forward. Shot fires through. He's going to land a couple of shots. You're going to see the rest of this Bioforce pushing out. Also just taking a little bit of a step towards the front. Tanks and the missile turret all getting set up as well. And a little bit of this on the way as we set up into the center of the map, getting everything ready. For the moment, we just see the few zealots coming up. The gateways are coming through. +2 armor is about to complete also. Missile turret gets denied pretty much immediately there, so I was just going to be saying no to that warp prism. ByuN playing a very defensive setup, right? So it's very hard for herO to break into this. I mean, he is looking around that left side, but how do you justify attacking into this position? This map is basically screaming, hey, sit back and macro. And that is very much so what we're doing right now. Sitting back and we macroing as we just have more units getting warped in, Bioforce coming across and getting ready to try and put a close on this one as we just have the army still pressing forward. Still gathering. A few medevacs get loaded up as well, so we get going over there. They're just going to move about a little bit. You see the drop onto the other side. Obviously, from this very defensive position, maybe ByuN can start to leech out a few units and perhaps start to get a few things done. Biosimming up, a couple zealots getting chased around. This army of herO moving back in the center, moving through the speedy zones. ByuN is killing a few of his own units to make room in the supply count for the Viking production, so just wants to get the Viking count up pretty quickly. He's very serious about this. Acceleration zones could help Vikings chase through the middle of the map if he needed to. He does get one Colossus. Good first pick off. They're still gathering together. A few more Zealots getting warped in. Professor Shell's on the way up. EMP still going down. Zealots taking big shots. And again, a few more command centers coming up as well. Zealots going to get back onto the CC here. Bio just going to drop into the base once more. A few of those Zealots will continue to go down. CC still coming about. Things really do just still have themselves a little bit of a slow going start. I mean, we've got 10 SCVs killed, but with the macro setup, you probably don't expect that to be the biggest of issues right now. Probably feels fairly manageable, honestly, and yeah, again, so far, so good. And actually dive on with this these few stalkers, though. They're actually going to be able to get a command center. That at least is a very big deal, right? Being able to knock a CC down like that is rather great. So I'll go ahead and say that one's a bit of a plus on the side of herO. Obviously stopping ByuN from getting to a 5th base. Still running Zealots over on the right side as well, so still trying to break through with those. There's an army here, though. ByuN is going to meet those Zealots, and he's just going to actually eat them up. Of course, while ByuN's been playing this big defensive game, hero's just said, cool, well, I'm going to keep on expanding. I'm going to take base after base after base, and I'm just going to be set up in this big macro game. Game 2 this grand finals, and herO is not going to be messing about. CC lands to the far left. Another disruptor shot lands for a sensor tower as well, so a few shots coming off of that. Missile turret still coming through, Storm coming up, Shadow Stride on the way in as well. So a few more things we can look towards here at the moment. A little bit more continuing to happen. Oh, Disruptor shot actually finds a connection there. I didn't think that was quite going to be the case, but works out. Zell's getting chased around, Zell's getting punched about a little bit, so some damage being done. 3-3 is about to come through here as well, so just getting that 3-3 finish, plus 3 weapons coming through as well. Big EMP though. If you find those DTs, that's obviously a lot of value. There's so much money in those dog template. If they were to fall, that would be very expensive. The disruptor shot, Sense Tower goes down. A couple of shots to get a missile turret too. Looks as though this position is going to be chipped away a little bit. Fire firing through, a couple of disruptors firing in as well. Viking's going to get one Colossus. Just gonna see that Bio still coming up, still pushing forward. GT's actually just dive in. They're gonna get rid of that bunker, so the bunker will go down here. Nice pick off. A couple of EMPs going down, and DTs will continue to take a bunch more damage. A few more shots. DTs continue to get blasted. Over on the right-hand side, the bigger fight breaking through. herO using those DTs as a distraction. The Disruptors blow up Zealots. And that's going to clear the way for the Bio to chase forward. 1, 2 Disruptors go down. The next couple, they were the traitors. They blew up the Zealots. They started all of this, and they get punished for it after watching everything around them die. herO's army gets absolutely melted. Oh, wow, that was actually a wild couple of moments, and ByuN's going to take a massive lead off of it. Now, herO has a lot of money. He's going to start building triple carrier, triple Colossus. Well, ByuN doesn't feel like just going. If he went right now, there's so much supply and money in the production tab at herO, he might just kill him. Of course, herO's going to set up massive counterattacks to try and distract ByuN from doing just that, but ByuN hasn't moved across the map, so this works in ByuN's favor too, because now he can just jump on these Zealots and get some free kills. So it's going to begin to do that as the Bio continues to chase across. Some more units from the right-hand side as well coming over there. There's a couple of Zealots continue to get chased down, picked off. All of that happening nicely for now. You just see his reactor just finished up. That's that medevac upgrade. Help with their energy, help with their healing. And as we see a couple of Zealots getting shot at, just going to start going down. Going to be seeing the, again, just running in of units here. herO essentially just trying to, I think, distract and buy time for his larger army to come online for everything else to get up and running in. Zealots are going to wrap around the Bioforce. Going to be fighting away. The Zealots all going down. There's a lot of Zealots dropping at the same time. ByuN has made his way across the map. We mentioned if he gets across the map, there may not be much available from herO. He's obviously going to have a few of the units out that he was producing before, but I think herO still just has army supply issues in general. The Vikings need to be careful. You don't want to give those up. I mean, okay, they're going to go for the Colossus, but they want to be there for carriers as well. This is going to just continue to make this a little bit of an awkward situation altogether. I mean, ByuN may have to... I mean, not that this has been a fast-going game, but ByuN may have to just slow it down a little bit to be able to get towards the Viking count once again to actually deal with those carriers. Still chasing back, still seeing a little bit more action there. Storm goes down, hitting a lot of units. Just going to be seeing the liberation zones continuing through. And we do have this army of herO pushback for the moment. They're both maxed out still here, 19 minutes deep on Sacred Isle at the moment. Giving this one hell of a game 2 in this grand final. They said they were tired going in. They're going to be hella tired after this second game. ByuN pushes up to the top side of the map. Viking Lib, not really in great numbers, but he's continuing to work on those numbers, continue to bring them up, trying to get a few more on the way in. Let's get as much of this going as possible. We do have more Libs getting sieged again. So it's going down at the bottom, 8 of them coming through. Libs all continuing to build as well. Have our +2 air armor finishing up. We do see so many turrets defensively, just going to make it so difficult for herO to realistically attack into ByuN is what this comes down to, right? It's going to make it very difficult for him to come in with any sort of an attack like that. See, the Stalker's going to find a Liberator over here as well. Just going to nab that straight away. And the Liberation Zone coming through too. Fighting away, carrier's already taking some damage, and we just got ourselves herO really committing. If he loses all of these carriers, he's in serious trouble. The Marauders have nothing left to do. They've killed the Colossus off. They're like, wait, do we lead the charge? Do we run back? Do we? Where do we go? What are we doing? Okay, well that's a little bit of a wild one. As we do see, ByuN obviously is just going to chase, and he is going to get a lot of units as he goes as well. Just going to continue through Libs. Libs and Vikings continue to chase down all of these carriers. Everything is just dropping. I think ByuN is going to find himself the win. He plays so patiently, so passively, and now doubling the army supply on top of his opponent's bases, has to lift into medevacs there as he nearly got disrupted, but now there's not a lot left. There's that one carrier trying to hide in the back. We got another disruptor just popped out. ByuN will be reinforcing this position with a lot more bio. There's now Tempest on the way in to kill the carrier. Can the Tempest create some magic here? Not really a way to do much else as the Liberators continue to siege up. The Disruptor shot goes off to the side. He realized this time it was about to blow up his Zealot, so he said, no, let's relocate that one, otherwise it's just going to be painful. Felt that one before already in this exact game, actually. Those Disruptors blowing up some Zealots. Was it this game, actually, or was it previous game? I mean, all the games are getting merged in my head at this point because we've had a long-ass day too. As ByuN just continues to press on in. He doesn't have much money in the back. herO does, but all he's really able to provide is Zealots. If he doesn't get enough Zealots to overwhelm, then that's not going to be a hold. Zealots are either very good or they're absolutely disastrously bad, because there's either just going to be too many of them and they just kill everything. There's like no in between. There's no just about enough Zealots. Especially at this sort of a point, it doesn't feel like there's any sort of just about enough. It's one way or the other. The probes are going down all over the place, so hero's going to lose any additional mine he was relying on. Some Zealots across the map, but ByuN has the reinforcements to deal with it, and he will sit there and do exactly that, dealing with all of that harass, stopping herO from getting anywhere else. herO has so much of the map. This base is absolutely everywhere, but difficult to really say that he's going to be able to get much use out of all of those. More Zealots still just going to walk on in. It's going to come through here. ByuN will continue to fight. We'll continue to push back. We'll see the Vikings still chasing down this Tempest count. Tempest continue to fall. In the end, that is it. That's GG. And ByuN ties it 1-1 in the grand final. I bet. Alrighty guys, let's get into it in the bottom left hand side. So I was just setting everything up. We have herO, the red Protoss player. He is taking on the blue Terran in the bottom right from the Shopify Rebellion. This is ByuN. All you want for Christmas is a few pictures of Ellie Roddy. Ay. I'm sure Helen will send you some. She's got all the good ones. ByuN is proxying to start off this game number 3, guys. Proxy right over here, just to the side of the natural, down the ramp from the main base. And herO, he's gone scouting for the prox and he's missed it. Oh no, herO. Oh no, not like this. That's the worst kind of proxy, when your opponent misses it, but they're still looking for it. This map's fun. It is on the bottom side, pretty much Golden Wall-esque. ByuN played a very long, drawn-out game on this one in the couple days ago against Dark. Hey, he found it! herO got the proxy! A little late to do much about it, but at least he knows, as he is going to put the Nexus down. He finally checked that corner of his base. And we're going to get that on the go, as we have ourselves the Reaper, the Zealot, the Cybercore, and the Nexus all getting built into play for the moment. Delria, thank you so much for the gifted sub to Nathanius. Appreciate it. Thank you. Alright, well, I got a Reaper hopping into this base over here as we just have that proxy come into play. So the Reaper obviously arrives very quickly, much quicker than usual. Gonna start flaring away. Probes already taking some damage. It's gonna be seeing the probes and the Zealot continue through. Have ourselves the couple moments of setting up with the Reaper obviously being dealt with by the being dealt with by the Zealot already. Just gonna get pushed around. You see the backs lifting off once again and try and head elsewhere. SCV coming through. The warp gate coming up as well, so again, just a little bit of everything on the way right now. Starport Command Center, all producing for the moment. A little bit of everything on the way. Probe coming up, warp gate coming through, a couple additional probes coming out as well. Again, everything just getting set up for the moment as the two Stalkers come over here. Reapers are going to get chased. is out there as well to help support all of this. Rex comes back home, of course, from the proxy, flies it away over to the other side, El Dorado, back to the base of the Terran player. A couple of Widow Mines moving out the front. I'm going to go join up. And again, the Robo facility going to be popping in just a few moments. The gateway still coming up, the warp gate on the way. The Observer producing through as well. There's a couple more Widow Mines and the Medevac and everything else still being added onto. Medevac loads up 2 mines. Away we go with the Widow Mines. Just going to go lifting off. Just going to go off to the other side of the map. So again, away they go. Action starting immediately. As the Medevac is going to head him straight for the main. Just a little drop to begin with. We'll see what it can find. Once again, 4 mines to dream with here as ByuN drops the first ones off. We are already in position initially, so not much happening there. Wouldn't mind we'll actually hit a Stalker though, and then 1 probe. And we might save 2 if we're lucky. Run, Medevac, run! Oh, the boost actually saves it as well. Nicely done. Alright, so that wasn't as bad as it could have been. That could have been a whole bunch more difficult for sure. Yeah, that could have been a little bit tougher. Say not so bad in the end. We just have ourselves the Reapers going in for a couple of the probes now, so just aiming for those. Clearing out what we can. Not going to be seeing the Reaper cleaned out, but I mean, more probe kills, always good. Even just some rough damage here is generally a good thing. So again, things heading in the right kind of direction for the moment. Engineering base coming through, so ByuN can start up his upgrades again. herO looking to be a 3-time back-to-back TLMC tournament champion. Meanwhile, ByuN looks for revenge when he got 4-0'd by herO in the TLMC tournament 1 year ago. By herO, ByuN looking to do better. He's already taken 1 map, so small improvements already. Oh, recall comes through. Medevac actually going to get shot down. Widow Mine gets to burrow up. Is going to be okay. He's going to go for a probe there as well. He's just going to be able to nab that. Again, charged Temple Archives continuing through, so we continue to get that on the go as we just have ourselves a few extra gates coming about. A couple more pylons coming in. Stimpak, Combat Shield, +1 attack upgrade continues through as well. A little bit of everything still being brought up for the moment. hero's going to make his way to Storm. Obviously, an early Storm like this, following that Blink charge. Sorry, no Blink, just Charge. So Charge Storm, it's the kind of opening that's very flimsy, right? Like, Charge can be, you know, very good at kind of keeping you alive and very good at kind of keeping things going. But there's absolutely a world in which, well, there's a lot of worlds in which you just sort of die trying to get there. I mean, before the Zealot count is high enough, before the Storm is quite done, moments like this are dangerous, and we do actually get rid of 1 medevac at least, so herO, at least for the moment, defending well. He is able to fend off this initial drop play. Don't get me wrong, if he gets charged up, if he gets Storm done, then I kind of start to like it a lot for herO. Then I feel like he can be in a very good position. Just not there quite yet as Storm. A few moments from finishing, a couple more barracks still coming out. Medevac's on the way, +1 attack upgrade coming through. Continuing with all of this at the moment as we see our the extra Zealots getting warped in, so it's going to be herO looking to actually attack into a wall off though. That I'm not really convinced about. I'm not sure attacking into the wall is going to be your best plan. But he's going to send it into the bunkers. Here come the first Storms on a lot of the Marauders. Well, the ByuNs absolutely get coated in Storms. Now the Zealots eat some of the Storm damage towards the end though. We've broken into the Siege Tanks. We're going to need the warping because there's not a lot of units left over here. herO, the warping comes, and again, ByuN is struggling to find the damage maybe necessary to clean this up properly. A few more Stalkers showing up as well. ByuN's army supply is not holding on. It looks as though herO is going to execute ByuN in the natural for a 2-1 lead. herO a map away from being the back-to-back-to-back chester. Want to show them some love and check them out, or just go to the store and buy some. Treat it Team Liquid, treat it Monster, that you bought it because of TLMC. White Monster's the best one. Yeah, I always used to drink White Monster, but I've really enjoyed the Aussie Lemonade flavor they came out with in the UK lately. So I've been hammering the Aussie Lemonade, but I'm pretty much at the end of the pack that I have. And I'm like, no, I might actually have to go and buy my own instead of leeching off of Monster sending me stuff. Yeah. It's been a while since I had a white one, though, and I've got a full stack of white ones still, so I should probably just drink some of these for a bit, I guess. Proby out on the map, scouting around for a few moments as we take a little bit of time to get settled here. Cracks gateway on the way up. Well, sorry, I'm just taking a little bit of a breather because it has been, like I say, kind of a wild one for us today. It's been non-stop action. Been rushing through to try and make sure the players don't have too much of a delay, and well, we are here in what could be our last game of the day, last game of the tournament. Squished this one in between Atlanta and Christmas after it got rescheduled a couple times. That pro comes around. SCV's mining away, Reaper coming up, Cybercore is building, the Nexus producing. Game number 4 of this best of 5. Whew. Guys, what if someone finally uses the healing zone? What if? Is it possible? Maybe. Don't be ridiculous. Adept moving around, the Reaper hops down, gets away for the moment, getting out of there. Right about now, just gonna stay out of some trouble. As our Stargate continues through, the Nexus still building. Adept and the Warp Gate all on the way. Reaper just gonna hop back up here. There's a probe in the base, and it's actually gonna drop a pylon down to block the add-on. For a little bit, so we do see an initial Widow Mine or so coming out of the factory instead, so just going to be building into those. Obviously the pylon provides vision, at least so you can see what does happen. Would you actually let that finish? No, he cancels it. He wants the 75 minerals back. How much information can you gain by keeping the pylon there? It's not going to be too much of a delay, so yeah, it doesn't really make sense to do much else. The Reaper, sorry, just going to go down over there as we are looking at this ramp, which has not been cleared out one time. We've had the base down there taken, but not at a point in the game where the players bothered to clear out the rocks and the minerals on that ramp, so there's definitely been a little point of intrigue as well, I suppose. That never came to fruition, unfortunately. Couple more gates coming out. Again, the Warp Gate's still coming through. Just going to see that Blink is still on the way up as well, so a little bit of everything for the moment. But Cloak on the way from ByuN, definitely looking for a harassment-heavy style. The probes are preemptively pulling and losing some mining time. The Widow Mines never dropped. The Oracle here is trying to force a reaction. The Oracle activates, will kill one of those mines. ByuN's attempt there does not do too much for him as the main base is going to be mined up as well. herO pulls back. Good unburrow. Can't really complain about that one. That's just good, solid play throughout. Correct play as well, just trying to buy as much time as possible. Doesn't get one more unburrow over here, although the Phoenix had a lift anyway, so probably wouldn't have happened even if he did get across. So maybe not so bad of a thing compared to what we initially thought. Again, Blink and the Nexus continue to come through for the moment. 2 more barracks coming up, extra Marines and the Siege Tank coming in as well. All of that continuing to produce. Just going to patrol around. Step still coming across as well. It's just also taking a few steps over here. And And he's just gonna walk past the healing zone. Huh, what's that? Do you not think any of the players wonder what this big thing is and why there's an inhibitor zone on top of it? Like, why is there just a little area with an inhibitor zone? Not one of them's thought about the healing zones. You know, usually the features on the maps like catch the players off guard and they create funny moments. The healing zones have just done nothing. They've not been used a single time. Indy said one time somebody actually walked in with for like 2 seconds accidentally, and that was about as much as he's seen happen. I could believe it. Just play a custom game and go sit my army in it, yeah. And then I'll win the TLMC because I actually tested the new feature, yeah? I get all the prize money? Nice. Do the players know? Yeah, we were joking about it in chat, and the players are just like... the players just laughed about it. I was like, why is no one using the healing zones? And they were like, haha. What do you want me to say? Do you want me to specifically write an essay? Hey, if you want to continue playing this tournament and do not wish to be disqualified, you must hurt your units and go and stand in a healing zone right now. I genuinely do think the healing zones are, on a lot of maps, a bit out of the way. You know, on other maps, they've not really seen the moments to use them. And players just don't really, you know, again, it's not something you're thinking about once you get deep in the game and you're moving quickly, playing quickly. Sending units out of the way to get healed is not something you really do in StarCraft, right? You very rarely just sit units out on the map somewhere random for no reason. So it doesn't really make sense to go and it doesn't make sense in the players' heads to really use the healing zones, right? Because it's not something they've trained to do over years upon years of playing StarCraft. I think it is just a lot more impactful in that way than we really kind of give appreciation for. Zealots charge into ByuN's natural. A lot of his army's going to start pulling back here. A few of the Zealots peeled away. Happy to see that, because otherwise that would have been a lot of Zealots going down for what was honestly very minimal gain here. But he's going to find those Zealots anyway, so ByuN catching him. Going to get some more damage done. The hallucination there was keeping an eye on things as well. Coming back into the center, Medevac still overhead, ready to protect, ready to help. Again, +1 attack coming through with the Prism on the way out as well. Rogue Bay continues in. As Zealots continue to come up, these Zealots actually charging into the natural right now. STV is going to start pulling around. First couple of Widowmine shots going off. A lot of Zealots going to start taking a lot of damage. SCVs are turning to fight though, and that means a lot of SCVs are going down. Uh-oh. ByuN needs to do serious damage over here. He knows it. He dives in. Force fields to buy some time. Super battery. Not really. I guess now it's going to get some use. He was just kind of fighting away from it at first, trying to make use of his force fields. ByuN's army supply is so much higher than that of herO's. The force fields again. Now ByuN doesn't care. He's not going to run back. He's not going to be stopped by them. He's going to run forwards. He's going to run into this army. ByuN wants to take us to a game 5. He wants to make sure today we get to see as many maps as possible. The Mortal goes down. Stalkers go down. The Zealots continue to chase. This is looking to be ByuN really clearing up big time. Now he's still down on workers as he gets pushed back, but with reinforcements, his army supply advantage is still huge. Is there a way for herO to live against the next couple waves of units? He's going to have to pull out something monstrous defensively if he wants to survive through this, I think. A lot of joining up together over here as we take a moment or so. Bioforce still coming through the center of the map as well, so just getting that set up. Getting these positions established. What can we do? As we go knocking down a set of rocks, opening our way towards this base. Well, as time passes by, the economy of herO continues to help him reproduce and to re-establish. He's got a few Zealots going to stop the third of ByuN morphing in, so that's going to help him out a little bit as well. Again, things going in the right direction there at least. That's what you want to see. If you're a herO fan helping himself out, let's see if he can hold on at the same time now as we run on in. These couple of Immortals are going to try and hold themselves up. The super battery comes through. herO is pushing this back. He's got the army supply lead back as well. Blinks forward, chases everything down. herO defends. Huge moment because ByuN is still 20 workers behind without that third base mining. And herO is going to take his chance to come across the map. Maybe he feels like he can attack into the defensive terrain. I'm not quite convinced. I do think ByuN's army is still sizable. herO warps in a group of Zealots. I'm not sure if that makes the difference necessarily. He will get one unit there with the Stalkers. That's fine. I'm worried about him committing full force into this, but he's going to send it. Blinks forward. Marauders the targets of these Stalkers. The Zealots come through. We're going to actually just take the Immortals forward as well with the help of the Prism. Bring them into range. SCVs are dropping again. ByuN supply is dying. And herO is your back-to-back-to-back Team Liquid map contest tournament champion.